So you finally reached level 80, you've completed the Shadowbringers main scenario quest, and now you've got yourself thinking, well, now what? It can be kind of overwhelming, right? Up until now, you've had the main scenario quest to keep you in line on a linear progression scale, but now that you have the end game unlocked, it can kind of feel overwhelming. You don't really have a solid direction to go, and now it's up to you. So today I'm going to share with you a couple directions that I would choose to go once you reach level 80, once you complete the Shadowbringers quest and you're in the real end game. So the first thing I would consider doing is getting your level 80 gear. Now, this is not going to be as simple as it has been while you've been gearing up, hitting level 50, 60, 70, these milestone levels. It's been quite easy. You get your tombstones of poetics from doing your dungeons, and then you can pretty much get a full set of gear, and that'll last you for 5, 6, 7 levels until you can start getting slightly better gear. It's not going to be that easy because right now, once you hit level 80, the tombstones of revelation are actually capped at 450 a week. So it is going to take slightly longer to actually get that gear. You can get slightly worse gear, or not really worse. It's going to be better than what you have, but not as good as the revelation gear with the tombstones of allegory, which you can get that are uncapped. But hopefully you have hit level 80 before actually completing the Shadowbringers quest line, because you will have been able to earn those tombstones of revelation earlier. So you'll kind of have a head start. You'll already have a little bit of a pool. And if it's been a couple weeks, you might even be able to buy an extra couple pieces or two. Every week, make sure to do your roulettes and just make sure to cap on your tombstones of revelation in general, because if raiding or any kind of high level content is going to be in your future, you're going to want to get the highest end gear. You can of course get better gear in raids, but you're going to want the best gear up until that point to get that gear. So you're going to want to get that Crypt Lurker set, get that eye level 520 gear, and just go ahead and kick the crap out of those raids. There are of course a couple other ways you can gear up as well. The tombstones of allegory, which I spoke of before, that'll get you eye level 490 gear, but you can also do just the normal Eden raids, which you'll find in your normal raid roulette. These will get you up to eye level 510 gear, which is only slightly worse than the revelation gear. These will be nice to have, and you can actually grind these as opposed to the tombstones, which will take a little bit longer, but are a nice step up from the tombstones of allegory gear. The other raids you can do are the near raids, and these are also ones that people really want to unlock. These are your alliance raids for Shadowbringers, and where a lot of the cool glamour you've probably been seeing where they're located, especially the boots and the leggings. Let's be real here. The boots are probably some of the best looking in the game, and the leggings, well, some players don't necessarily want them for the legs. It's more for the, you know what I'm saying. In general, if you want them, it'll make things a little bit more tight. If you get what I'm saying. But of course, these raids will allow you to unlock level 520 gear, which will be on par with the tombstones of revelation gear, as well as getting, some hairstyles, minions, stuff that you can sell in the marketplace if you want for a little extra gil. And if you do want to be the strongest there is, or at least the strongest you can be, the next thing you'll have to unlock is your best weapon. Now, you can, of course, get your weapon from the Eden raids, but that is going to take a little while. You have to get some of the tokens from the Eden raids, then trade them in, get a weapon, and that's fine. But you also can get them from the Savage Eden raids, but that's also a little bit harder to get into. You can also do relics. Relics are a pretty good place to go. Now, currently, your relic is going to be your best in slot weapon. You can get that all the way up to eye level 535. And in order to do so, there are going to be a lot of things you need to do, namely unlocking Baja, which you're probably going to want to do anyway. There's a lot of cool glamour there and just a lot of fun content. And now is the best time to do so. Now that they just unlocked one of the newest upgrades to your relic weapon, there are a lot of people in Baja trying to get that. So now is the best time, because once Endwalker comes out, there might not be a lot of people actually trying to complete that relic. And the relic weapons are kind of things that you're going to want other people to help you out with. So now is actually the best time to jump in and do that. Now, there are a lot of requirements. There are a lot of steps. I'm going to post a guide down below in the description that you can use to kind of follow, track your progress, and make things a lot simpler for you. And of course, once we hit Endwalker, it's not actually going to be your best in slot weapon, but you're going to unlock different models along the way that you can use for glamour, of course. And as we all know, glamour is the true end game. Maybe you want to take a break from your main job though and try something new. Well, now is the perfect time. Go ahead and grab another job. Of course, you can play any job or every job on your main character. And now is the perfect time to try and do so. Go ahead, do whatever beginning quests you need to do, which of course you're gonna have to look up all of them online unless you just happen to know where they are. Go ahead and complete those. And then in terms of leveling, I would recommend trying to jump into Palace of the Dead or Heaven on High once you do unlock that at higher levels. Basically, it's like a roguelike deep dungeon. In Palace of the Dead, there's 200 floors. Heaven on High, there's 100. And basically, you can go through grind experience pretty quickly if you have a pretty decent party at it. But do note that it can be a little bit risky because you only get your rewards every 10th floor. So if you don't actually complete the 10th floor, or if you wipe along the way, you're going to lose out on all your progress beforehand. So make sure that you kind of know what you're doing before you go in, unless you just want to go in and just have a fun time. You're not all about that super hard grinding life. Then maybe you just want to jump in and have some fun learning along the way. But you can lose some of your time in terms of experience, but you'll still have the fun doing it. And fun is the number one thing we want to be having when playing Final Fantasy. And in terms of leveling other jobs, don't forget that you can also level up your crafters or your gatherers. These jobs are, you know, just as time consuming to level up, and they'll also help you get a little bit of gil. Well, a lot of gil. This is how a lot of people make their money, but they do have other benefits. Like you can go about and craft that gear that you've been wanting to buy that's for millions of gil, but you can't because you don't have millions of gil. Well, you can either sell things that you craft to get up to those millions of gil, or you can just craft it yourself and have some sweet glamour. Or you can do things like go ahead and repair your gear wherever you are. Even if you're in a dungeon, you can go ahead and repair your gear. So no more panic times when your gear just stops working because you forgot to repair it. And the last option I want to discuss, and this is the true end game of Final Fantasy. You guys all know it. Let's say it together. It's glamour. Yes, glamour. Everyone wants to look their best, and there's a lot of ways to do so in Final Fantasy. You can go do dungeons, you can do raids, you can do Baja, you can do crafting. Like, there's so many different ways, and really the way you need to start is figuring out what kind of glamour you want. Now, Eorzea Collection is a great website that can go about and browse Final Fantasy's collection of glamour, but you can also go ahead and browse what other players are posting. There's a ton of galleries up there where people are posting what they've been doing. So basically what I do is I go through, and if I see something like, I just kind of favorite it, and then later on, you know, I can go by and see, oh, this is a cool chess piece. I want to see, how do I unlock that? And then you figure out what requirements you're going to need to unlock that. And then that can dictate, you know, what you're going to be doing for, you know, maybe the next day, maybe the next week, maybe the next couple weeks. Maybe it's something that needs to have a bunch of steps to be unlocked, actually. Like, God, that elemental armor set, that's one of the things I really want, but I got to go through like 3 steps of Eureka. So it's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but it gives you a goal. I'm the type of person who needs a goal, something to move forward and try to achieve. And so this kind of gives me that goal. It gives me some bullet points to kind of point out like, okay, these are my goals. This is what I need to do to get there. And then I can kind of make my way to those points. And let's be honest, we all want to look our best. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do so, but this is going to kind of be up to you depending on which route you want to go, depending on what pieces you want to be unlocking. So those are just some of the directions you can take once you hit level 80 and once you finish the Shadowbringers main story quest. Hopefully this video gives you a little bit of sense of direction on which directions you can take and what you can go about working on. If you guys did like the video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell. Join our Discord, link will be down in the description below, and of course follow me over on Twitch. That link will also be down in the description. But guys, that's all I got for today. Let's jam again sometime. Hit it.